I drew this artwork back in 2005 during a time when I had art block, and I painted this last month, 15 years later, encountering art block once again. Hey y'all, it's Sam, and it's been a minute. If you're like, who is this chick? I don't remember subscribing to her. It's okay. I don't remember subscribing to me either. For real though, I haven't done a YouTube video in a good long while. Just haven't really been feeling YouTube anymore. But I wanted to catch up with y'all, see how y'all were doing, let y'all know how I was doing. But I hope y'all have been well, or as well as possible, given everything. But I wanted to have a little chat about what's been going on with me lately, and as the title of this video would imply, outright state, it's art block. We're gonna be talking about art block. I haven't done a video in how long? It kind of shows. Anyway, before we dive into it, I just want to explain the artwork. This painting was done on a live stream, in case it wasn't obvious, which is why there's all this random stuff around the screen. Hope it won't be too distracting. So, yep, it's been 15 years since I've experienced what I feel is art block. I know everyone defines art block differently, everyone experiences it differently, all that jazz. This is just my experience with it. What is art block for me? Well, to describe it, I need to clarify two things: motivation and inspiration. Motivation being the willpower, the drive to create, the thing that gets you out of bed in the morning, like, oh yeah, new day, and then you proceed to snooze your alarm. But anyway, it's the thing that gets you arting. I've had motivational blocks all the time. I tend to refer to it as depression though, but I do think the distinction is important for me, since even with depression, even with the struggles of picking myself up, my creativity is still there. I could still push myself to draw and be successful at it. So to me, I'm not art blocked. I'm mental health depression blocked. For me, art block is an inspirational block, where motivation is my usual up and down self, but any ideas or concepts, my abilities or skills are hindered. This is when I can't create even when forced. This is the nothing feels right, nothing comes out right, I can't think of anything to draw kind of block. This is, I think, pretty common and is undoubtedly still related to one's mental health status. I know some might mix the two, consider both to be blocks, but when in one instance I can still draw and the other I can't, only one of those is stopping me. So for me, I like the distinction of motivation versus inspiration. So what might be an elephant in the room is the whole, I haven't had art block for 15 years. I know it can be pretty damn common to get art block in the community, like all the time. A lot of people I followed over the years have had all sorts of ups and downs creatively, but for me, things have mostly been consistent and uninterrupted. Not to say I haven't struggled, that's different, but in terms of art block, I just never have it. If you struggle with art block a lot, I can't say I have some magic formula to fix it. I can't say with any certainty of what it has been that has let me go on for so long without issue. I know there are a lot of strategies of dealing with creative blocks. I'm sure there's a million YouTube videos on the topic, but this video isn't really that. I will put a link in the description with my favorite art block tips video though. I want to untangle a bit about what might have led to this in the first place. While I can't recall the situation that led to it happening all those years ago, I at least have some ideas about it now. And I don't mean to be all doom and gloom, I won't. This year has been enough, but I did want to talk at least a little about my experiences, and if y'all want, you can share yours as well. Sometimes it helps to just say things out loud, or type them in a YouTube comment. If you followed me for a while, you probably know that sharing for me is difficult. Sure, I'll share my opinions on things, even some controversial things, but in terms of talking about myself, I don't do that. So while I won't go into too much detail here, I wanted to share this at least because sharing is something I want to work on. I think it can be helpful to communicate to others, good or bad, and open up when and where it's safe to do so. For me, what makes it so hard is just that past experiences of being hurt from doing so. For most of my life, when I did share, I was often met with less than favorable reactions and responses. But mental health and self-care are things I've been trying to incorporate into my life, my brand, and just anywhere that I can. And coming across other people and creators who do that as well, I find it really inspiring. Self-care is important and I want to talk about it. So TLDR, this year, like I'm sure for a lot of you, has been rough. For me, it wasn't just global events, though that certainly contributed, but my own life where a multitude of things just happened to collide all at once. Just a coincidence that this year sucked for everyone else too. I'm sorry. But I had a lot of past trauma come back, things I've tried to ignore, things I couldn't see or want to believe pop up. It's one thing if this happened over time, but this year it was one right after another, oftentimes several at the same time, and that gets to be a lot. Simultaneously, I really struggled with dealing with everything in a healthy way. I kept pushing forward with my work, with streaming, putting on a face I didn't feel, and really only giving myself a few gasps of air every now and again. I'm sure y'all have seen some of that vent art I experimented with. And that's not good! All of that combined certainly led to the situation I'm in now. It's important to take a second and realize that you're not okay, and that it's okay to not be okay. But if you don't realize it, you can't do anything about it. This year gave me a lot to think about, and I want to come away from it positively. I never liked the phrase, "you can choose to be happy," since I feel it's too simplistic and erases the real effort that goes into working on one's mental health. It doesn't really address how certain illnesses are complex or add additional difficulties. But I appreciate the notion that with taking enough effort, getting help when you can lead yourself down a path that does contain happiness. While I can't choose to be happy, I can choose to make decisions that lead me to that goal. And it's nothing grand, it's small stuff too, though sometimes the small stuff can take a lot of work. Like letting myself do things or feel certain ways instead of criticizing myself for doing them, pulling myself away from exhaustive or spoon-costly parts of my work like streaming, taking steps towards my physical health like food and exercise, spending more time on other things that I love like learning languages. If I can't draw, I can put that energy I have elsewhere. Baby steps, basically. Mental health and self-care are lifelong things to manage and maintain. I don't expect these things to be fixed overnight, of course. So if you're on your own journey, I hope you know too that each little decision can help lead you there. We'll slip up, it happens, but it's like art. If we want to get better at drawing, we have to draw, we have to try. Like drawing hands, I think we can all relate to hands or feet or perspective or color theory or, everything. But avoiding the hard stuff won't make it easier. There will be those ups and down slopes where we draw amazing one day and horrible the next. There will be leaps of improvements after years of hard work, only to smash your face straight into a wall of art block. But we'll get through it. I got through my art block years ago. I'll get through this one. I'll put some links in the description to things that I found helpful that probably aren't your usual resources. Obviously, if things are seriously bad for you, professional help may be necessary, but I love coming across random things on the internet that offer a little bit of solace. So if you know of any, please share them in the comments, and if you've dealt with art block, or if you're going through it currently, like me, we can be friends. Feel free to share your stories too in the comments down below. I haven't made a YouTube video in how long? And the airplanes still come. But yeah, that's me. That's what's going on. And I don't really do the YouTubes too much anymore. Maybe occasionally I'll post something. But in the meantime, if you'd like to keep up with me, I'm super active on Twitter. I'm trying to be active on Instagram. It's difficult, but those are probably the main two places to check me out, and Twitch. Although I'm taking a vacation from Twitch if it wasn't obvious from this video. But yeah. So thanks so much for watching. I hope all of y'all are well. And yeah, have a good one. Treat yourself today. But yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.